Ladies and gentlemen, this is Big Ray's Wrestling Show. You know me, I'm the Mark of the Masses, the man with the plan. Big Ray here to stay to talk some X Division. Ladies and gentlemen, TNA X Division today. I am joined here with my good friend from the north in the fantastic, wonderful land of Canada, my good friend Andre CORBEIL. Andre, what's up, buddy?
How you doing, Ray? What's going on today,
I'm doing
brother?
pretty good. The reason I called you, Andre, and here at OneWrestling.com, I want to,
because I'm awesome.
Well, besides the fact that you're awesome, Miz, I wanted to talk to you about the TNA X Division. I know TNA has been going through a lot of changes. They've released a couple of guys here. They've released a couple of girls there. But what I have noticed, and I think we've discussed this a couple of times, is that I see that the X Division is becoming more and more prominent every single week. And the way I feel is that the X Division was the springboard that actually put TNA on the map. What's your opinion on that, buddy?
Absolutely. Anybody that tuned into TNA from 2002 all the way up to 2005 when they got their big break on Spike Television, they were on ESPN Classics and Fox Sports Net 3 or something like that before they got the television deal, and they were doing a weekly pay-per-view, $10 pay-per-view basis, and a lot of people kept saying that they weren't going to last 6 weeks, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, so on and so forth. And there's been a lot of negativity time and time again, year after year after year. And TNA, time and time again, have hit that home run, shutting the naysayers up and proving that they're here to stay. And I just made a video, my brother. There's a lot of positive news out there in TNA. If you sort through all the negativity, all of the stuff that 10% demographic is putting out there, making TNA's focus, all of the negativity, and swirling all of that as the frontline center of what's going on in TNA, it's not 100% true. There's a lot of positive things going on right now. Spike TV's very happy, my brother, very happy. And they noticed that the X Division needs to be more prominently featured on the Impact Wrestling program. And Dixie Carter herself said that they were going to bring new talent in and put more focus on this division. And I can't wait, brother, because absolutely, like you asked in the question, it's basically what helped TNA grow and survive. It was the main stable, the mainstay, the main signature division that kept that snowballing limelight, so to speak, focused on TNA wrestling as they grew to become what they become today.
Well, now that you broke that down, I think it's only fair for the people that actually watch this video to have an understanding of what the X Division is, what it was, what it is now. Basically, the X Division was what was the tagline for the X Division? Do you remember that?
No weight limits, no limits.
Right, basically, and I believe if I'm correct, I think it was 2002 in June, the first X Division champion was fought in the, was it an Ultimate X match, Andre?
Come again?
AJ Styles, he won the X Division championship for the first...
Against Jerry
right.
Lynn, and it was a gauntlet match.
It was Jerry...
I believe Psychosis was in it.
And Low-Key. It was
good,
right.
Good,
it was low key. It was like an elimination match, and he was the first X Division champion. Now, when you talk about no weight limits, and break that tagline down, and then tell us the difference. What's the difference then and today?
Well, I can actually make a stop in the middle of then and today, and make another point pertaining and relating to the X Division. But back then it was. No weight limits, no limits, blah, blah, blah. And it was a very high-flying, a little bit more progressive than the cruiserweight style, right. A little bit more, right? And then Abyss came in and won the belt, and it's never been the same ever since. Right. They changed that to a weight limit at one point in time, and yeah, it just, the division has never been the same. But I believe brighter times are going to come. But I digress on that, and we'll let that progress through.
Yeah, I actually see that they're actually going back to the more athletic wrestler, and you know, I'm really a fan of the guys they're bringing in. I've always been a fan of Manic, Suicide, T.J. Perkins. I've always been a big fan of his. I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
I've always been a big fan of his. He did just currently win. We're shooting this video on the 29th of July here in 2013, and Manic this past Thursday did just win the TNA X Division Championship. But I think I want to talk to you about something a little
An Ultimate X
an
match.
Ultimate X, which is, I think, one of the most fantastic matches in professional wrestling. I wanted to ask you something. I want to ask all of you guys something here at OneWrestling.com. I want Andre to give us his list, and I'll give a quick list of our top 5 TNA champions of all time. And I'm going to quickly make a quick note. Two interesting wrestlers here. Six-Pac, or X-Pac as we know him, actually had the shortest reign. He had one reign for about 14 days. And we actually had RVD, who had one reign, but he reigned for a total of 137 days. I just wanted to throw that out there. So, Andre, who are your top 5 all-time TNA champions? And I want you guys to leave your top 5 here below. Who you think your favorite or your top 5 TNA X Division champions of all time are? Andre, take it away.
Well, this person I'm going to start off with didn't make my top 5 list, but you did mention RVD there, and I think that was the worst X Division title run in TNA history. And even Jay Lethal, the person that I'm saying didn't make my list, had a better title run than RVD. I'm going to roll on with my number 5. I'd have to say it'd be no other than the greatest man who ever lived, A-Double, Chris, in-ring action, one of the best in the world, Austin Aries. One of the most exciting X Division champions, in my opinion. Again, comment below, subscribers, and keep watching this video. Ray and I definitely want to hear your opinions pertaining and relating to this. I'd have to say X Division number 4 choice for the best champion would be Amazing Red. I love his style. It's explosive, very innovative. And speaking of innovative, gotta put Christopher Daniels in there as my number 3 choice. I love Christopher Daniels. I think he's one of the most complete wrestlers in the world. If he is a little bit bigger, I think he would have been a world heavyweight champion a long time ago. But I do see him being a world heavyweight champion at some point in time before he retires, because he's put so much of his blood, sweat, tears, his body. If you look at all the lumps on his shoulders, that's from breaks, snaps. This guy's done crazy off-the-wall stuff, and I praise Christopher Daniels. I'm going to roll on with my number 2, which is the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. And people that tune into my channel know that you do too. You know that AJ Styles is my favorite wrestler on the planet. But I think he's bigger than the X Division. And yeah, he's morphed into the main man in TNA. And I do see him being the world heavyweight champion somewhere down the road. I'm not going to say when. But yeah, he's my number 2 and my favorite X Division champion of all time. Not being as where I'm from or anything, or being biased, but it's the Canadian Destroyer, Petey Williams, trained by Scott D'Amore, a very good trainer, who also had a hand in training Chris Sabin, also had a hand in training his former partner, Alex Shelley. Just a great. Border City Championship Wrestling was his promotion. He was the booker for the Knockouts division during the best period of the Knockouts division during the stretch of TNA's 10/11 year history. I think Scott D'Amore, I'd like to see him back as a booker. But yeah, those are my top 5.
All right, very cool. I'm going to give you my top 5. I'm not going to get into details because, again, I want to focus this on...
I'm very interested. Very interested in
I'm actually interested to know that. I'm going to make a quick point. I want you to get into this. I noticed that you didn't put Chris Sabin in your top 5. Any particular reason?
Yes.
Before I jump into my top 5.
I just finished mentioning the name Alex Shelley. He was Motor City Machine Gun tag team partner to Chris Sabin, and I just think they were such a freaking awesome tag team that tried, tested, and true. That's how I perceive Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley. No matter if they're singles wrestlers or whatever, they mean the most to me during their time in TNA when it comes pertaining and relating to the tag team division. I think of their 5-match series with Beer Money. Do you remember that,
yeah.
Ray? That is absolutely the best tag team wrestling, I think, ever in the history of wrestling that I've seen anyway. Again, people tuning in here at One Wrestling Video, Big Ray's Wrestling Show, and my subscribers watching, comment below. Let us both know what you guys think. yeah, interaction. That's what it's all about, right? Right?
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, so
Yeah, man.
what you're basically telling me is that you see Chris Sabin more, and I think we spoke about this, as a tag team wrestler.
Da, da, da,
All right, fair enough. All right,
da.
let me jump into my top five. You tell. I want to hear what you think about my top five. My number
Bring it
my
on,
number
brother.
five is, ooh yeah, Black Machismo, Jay Lethal. My number four is the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels. My number three, and the reason I put this guy number three really quickly, I'll jump into this, is because he has six X Division championship reigns. He's held the title for well over 350 days. Chris Sabin. My number two guy is one of the best wrestlers on this earth today. I don't care whether he fights in the X Division. I don't care whether he's part of a tag team. I don't care whether he's the World Heavyweight Champion, Austin Aries. And my number one guy, and I feel, in my personal opinion, I think he is Mr. X Division. And I know you say he's bigger than the X Division, but I think it has to be AJ Styles. This, again, is my top five. 5, Jay Lethal. 4, Christopher Daniels. 3, Chris Sabin. 2, Austin Aries. Number 1, AJ Styles. What's your opinion on that, buddy?
My opinion is that's kind of a shocker. It's not 100% what I expected from you, son. Christopher Daniels, I expected to be in your top 3, my man. I really did. I know he's one half of your favorite tag team, and ever since Rude and Aries split, I have to be on the same page as you. Just another page that we both relate in that regard to is, they're my favorite tag team, Bad Influence. They can't do no wrong. Even when they lose, it's freaking entertaining. Their promos, top notch. I really like them. But I think TNA is going to put more focus on the X Division, Ray. I think they're going to taper off from the tag team division until they bring in more talent. I figure that'll be maybe 4 months down the line. I think the focus is mainly going to be on bringing in X Division talent moving forward and beefing up the Knockouts division, and I think it's the right way to go. The Knockouts have been on fire lately, and it seems like they can't deliver a bad match. And even though ODB's been out of MIA and been the referee for a while, you can't deny the pop that she got last Thursday when her and Gail Sport faced off. So, well, who knows? That may be a good feud. Who knows?
I'm going to ask you a quick question. I'm not gonna give my opinion. I want to hear everyone's opinion here at OneWrestling.com. Again, leave your comment below, and I want to hear from Andre CORBEIL. Andre, what's your favorite X Division championship match? Do you have anything off the top of your head that you can think about that just... I know I'm throwing your curveball. It's kind of out of the blue.
I know I'm going to sound like a million other people, but it's got to be the Unbreakable match with Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, and Christopher Daniels. I just... I think that is probably up there with Randy Savage and Ricky Steamboat, and I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding, and guys, that's always been my favorite. That's always been my favorite match ever. The amount of pinning combinations, I believe there were 21 pinning attempts.
That's actually my favorite match, besides the Razor Ramon HBK ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. That's actually my favorite match of all time. But go ahead. As you say, I digress.
Well, hey, just another page that we're both on, right? Man. I just think Savage and Steamboat stole the show on the largest stage in wrestling history. And, everybody came to see Hulk and Andre, but everybody left saying, oh my God, Ricky and Randy. That sounded a little weird when I said that.
Nothing wrong with that, ladies and gentlemen. Now, again, this isn't a state of TNA. We're not going to talk about the releases or anything like that. We're mainly focusing on the X Division. So I'm going to actually finish up with this, and I wanted to ask you this. We briefly spoke about the direction of TNA. We briefly spoke about the direction of the X Division. Andre CORBEIL, in your opinion, and I want to hear you guys, can you give me maybe some independent wrestlers or wrestlers that are on the roster right now that can help build this division to be prominent and help take TNA to, like Hulk Hogan says, brother, another level, dude?
That it's never been before, dude. Okay. We all know that Alex Shelley is very happy performing in Japan, but seeing his best friend and former tag team partner Chris Sabin get the ultimate push in a company that Alex Shelley worked in for many years as well. Maybe that would be, I think the word would be coup, enough of a coup for Dixie Carter to call, reach out, bring Alex Shelley in for the X Division. Face it, he's a great performer. He's got lots of charisma. And even if they don't reunite the Motor City Machine Guns, I only see it as a plus and a big bonus, amping and revamping up the X Division. I think Jack Evans down in AAA. AAA actually owes, this is another statement recently, good news regarding TNA. AAA owes TNA a bunch of favors, lending talent. So there's TNA has some interest in a couple of
Andre, real quick, I'm sorry. Can you explain to them who, if they don't know what AAA is wrestling, can you tell them a little bit about AAA wrestling?
It's a very, very popular, a very big wrestling company down in South America, and they probably are bigger than TNA, technically, because they've had a long tradition. They've been around for many, many years. I can't remember the gentleman's name, the promoter. He had a hand in WCW too. He came up and what the heck was his name? Actually, he was involved in the World X Cup too back in 2000.
Right, I can't remember it either. Well, you know what? I was going to tell you, if you guys know who it is, please leave it in the comment box. If we want to, yeah, go ahead, Andre.
Interactable, but yeah, they owe. Jeff Jarrett's garnered a lot of favors working with AAA. He's had a big hand in helping AAA over the last year, and that's why we haven't seen Jeff Jarrett much. Apparently, he came up 2 weeks ago before Destination X, alongside Dixie and a couple other TNA brass, just after the replacement of Bruce Pritchard. And there's a new guy that used to work in the WWE again. Subscribers. His name, so comment below section in this box. Let Ray and I know if you don't know the name of the gentleman, Ray, but he basically took over Bruce Pritchard, half of Bruce Pritchard's duties, and Eric Bischoff got the other portion of duties. But I digress on that. Spike TV's very, very, very happy. They're going to bring in some X Division wrestlers. What about Greg Marashulo there?
Well,
I think he's earned himself a contract.
I was actually going to jump on that bandwagon before we end this video. This is something that I had mentioned in another video that we had done, or I think I had done. But I said, Trent Beretta, I didn't know you had it in you. It's amazing when these wrestlers are allowed to be a little freer and be more creative in the ring, what they can do. I had no idea. Maybe I'm just I'm not that big old mark that I thought I was, but I had no idea that Trent Beretta was such a physical talent, and he has such.
I just think of that. That front
yeah,
flip
man,
moonsault,
and he has that charisma. But Andre, I'm going to go back and ask you this question, and again, who do you think, if you can give me two guys right now on the roster or not on the roster to help propel TNA's X Division to the next level, and we're going to leave everybody with this, who are they going to be? Who's going to be the next big stars in TNA?
So I can give you next big stars or returning stars from the past?
Who's going to help the X Division go to the next level? Give me 2 stars.
Well, the Oracle sees in his crystal ball, Ray. I see Low-Key returning. I do. I see Low-Key returning, but most of all, I see former LAX tag team partner of Hernandez, Homicide, the Gringo Killer, the badass hombre, him returning. He has been in contract talks with TNA. Apparently 2 weeks ago they were in talks and they were trying to coup him. And who knows who this next person coming up on August 1st is. TNA's been teasing that, making that video go viral. It's very interesting. It could be a number of people, but that's a whole entire video in itself, guys. But yeah, I see Low-Key coming in. I see Homicide coming in. I'd like to see Jack Evans from AAA. This guy's got some sick aerials. If you haven't seen Jack Evans, people tuning in, go check him out. And Alex Shelley.
All right, very cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, I called Andre because when it comes to TNA wrestling, when it comes to professional wrestling in general, he's one of my very, very favorite people to talk to on this earth. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Big Ray's Wrestling Show. This has been X Division Talk. I want to hear from you guys. Leave your comments below. Please subscribe. Like I always say, hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Like Andre says, clickety click, click. Ladies and gentlemen, how can we follow you? Give us some of your info.
You can follow me right here on YouTube at Andre CORBEIL. Hit that subscribe button, click the like button, and share my videos. Share Ray's videos as well. You can visit me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter, send me a tweet at Andre_CORBEIL, and Wrestling News Talk on Facebook. Click that like button and get on board.
And ladies and gentlemen, you can follow us here at OneWrestling.com, YouTube /OneWrestling Video. You can follow us on Twitter at OneWrestling. Follow me on Twitter at Big Ray's Show. And just a couple of days ago, we did a really cool three-way interview with a young man from Australia. He is WWE Shows Reviews 5, and he actually just put up that video I think a couple of hours ago. Depending,
is it up?
It's actually up right now. Depending on when you watching this, it's up right now.
Nice.
So go look for that young man. His name is Hardy. He's a very passionate wrestling fan. He's a young guy who loves the business, and you know what, man? That's what it's all about. Andre, what is it all about?
Yeah. We're all in this for one thing, wrestling. I got one question for you, my brother, that we didn't touch base on in this video. Who is your favorite X Division wrestler of all time? Not your favorite champion. Out of the whole division, come in. Doesn't matter how short the stint was or how long the stint was. Who's your all-time favorite? And you're definitely not going to expect what my answer is.
Well, my favorite X Division wrestler of all time, for me, is no contest. For me, it's the phenomenal one, AJ Styles.
I was a very, very big fan of WCW, and my favorite is via nostalgia. Prime time.
Oh, Elix Skipper! He's awesome. He's awesome, ladies and gentlemen.
He's a forgotten
legend. I forgot about that.
I don't know. This guy did the craziest thing ever in the X Division when he walked the top of the 6 sides of steel, delivering a Hurrah to the Cowboy James Storm, and he's lucky he didn't kill himself. And I love Elix Skipper's offense. I just think it's totally unique. I think he had a flair for the mic, and I think he's cocky. He carried himself well, and the one thing about him is he never had one single finisher that stuck for a long time. He kept incorporating new finishers. He walked the ropes better than The Undertaker. Sorry, guys. He walked the ropes better than The Undertaker. And God bless The Undertaker. He's awesome. But yeah, prime time, baby.
Prime time, Elix Skipper. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to leave you with that. Don't forget, I'll be here every single week to do my TNA Impact recap reviews. Andre CORBEIL, if you can't consistently every single week here at OneWrestling.com, you can follow Andre CORBEIL on his page where he gives not only some great TNA recaps, but also other great wrestling content and some other really cool, funny stuff. You gotta check out his videos, man versus, what is it, boyfriend versus girlfriend, or man versus woman?
That's
but anyway,
check out my channel, guys, if you haven't, and subscribers from my channel tuning in. If you haven't gotten on board One Wrestling Video or Big Ray's Wrestling Show, what are you waiting for, people?
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, like I always say, I would do this for a living, but if I can, I would do it anyway. Why? Because I love talking wrestling, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll catch you here next time. Andre, duck.